again. Well, it is expected that Sepp Blatter will be re-elected as FIFA president today, despite the cause for his resignation and all the talk of the recent corruption scandal.
Well, European football teams have threatened to withdraw from FIFA competitions, including, crucially, the World Cup. So what does this mean for the reputation of football and FIFA? Let's speak to Lois, who's from the branding agency Landor. Good morning to you.
Hello.
I mean, there's also talk of the sponsors now, you know, big names, Visa, McDonald's,
yes.
all of, you know, thinking about their relationship with a very tarnished brand.
As they should be doing, really. When somebody sponsors something like the World Cup or the Olympics or whatever it happens to be, it's because they want to share the values of that sporting event, whether it's about fair play, trust, integrity, all those good things. And those are the things that we're seeing seem to be a bit lacking at FIFA at the moment. And so they should be re-evaluating. And they should be, and as indeed they are already, exerting pressure on FIFA to clean up their act, really.
Still a lot of eyeballs, though. If you're a company who wants people to see your product, you want to be part of the World Cup, you want to be part of football, don't you? Even if the big business end of it is tarnished for the ordinary fans.
You do want to be part of it, and in fact we conduct quite a lot of research all the time on different brands, and our research on FIFA shows that up until quite recently people do separate out the World Cup, the actual match and the actual tournament from FIFA. But that's happening less and less now, and brands need to look very carefully at how the lines of separation are becoming less clear, because as more and more about FIFA is on the news, and also we're beginning to hear all about the human rights issues in some of the countries hosting it. That separation is no longer really going to sustain.
And do you think that this will be a watershed, really? Because there's been a huge groundswell, I would say, for the last sort of 20 years, as far as I can tell, where, you know, real fans who go to the matches week in, week out with their kids have definitely felt that big business is running the game that was really meant for the people. And this is just on a magnificent scale that big business has sort of ruined football's image. Do you think this is a moment where things might change?
I think I'd argue about big business ruining football's image. I think FIFA's done quite a good job at ruining their own image at the moment. I think it's a great...
I think for a lot of people it gets besmirched in their mind. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah, well, yeah, just, you know, when I think about when the Glazers went to Manchester United, there was a huge outcry. And obviously, in the end, actually, they pumped a lot of money in and they've done quite well. But there has been this sense that big business can take the game away from the people who really sort of deserve it.
I think... I would still argue that. I think that the Manchester example is slightly different from the sponsorship of the actual game. I think it's a great opportunity. I think FIFA can come out of this, and I think that football worldwide can have a much better image if they seize the opportunity that's there for them right now.
So what would you be telling them? What would you be if you were in charge of brand FIFA or brand football? What would you be telling them to do?
I'm glad you asked. So we would be saying to them, first of all, that they need some...
It's not a job interview, by the way.
No.
I'm not doing
a pitch. That would be something different. But they need to make some real demonstration that things are going to change, and whether that's a change in the vote and change in leadership today, or if that doesn't happen, it's conducting an independent audit, not just the one that's being conducted by the FBI and the various other Swiss authorities, but doing their own, well, not doing their own, bringing in impartial people to do that, and really entering into a new spirit of transparency. There's a real precedent for this. Back in the late 90s with the Salt Lake Olympics, there was a huge corruption charge against the International Olympic Committee, and it got to an actual crisis point, and they did very similar things to what we're suggesting now. They conducted a big period of reform. There were 54 tangible changes that they made to the constitution of the IOC and how the IOC worked with the different nations. And now the Olympic movement today is in very good shape.
Yes.
And FIFA could do that. We would also say to them, you've got to really define what you stand for and who you are. It's not just about, to your point earlier, it's not just about raising $4 billion from Rio, which I think is the figure that was quoted. It's about some of the very good things that they do already, but bringing them up to the foreground, talking about them more, about the advantages and the things that they do in Africa and in various other nations in terms of making the game much more available to everybody worldwide.
Okay.
So that's what they should be talking about, defining who they are and what they stand for.
Interesting points.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you might get the gig. You never know.
Yeah, it's very good.
Ring.
We'd give you the
We're
job.
ready.
We'd give you the job. Yeah. OK, it's 19 minutes past 6.